Good evening, everyone. This is Carlene. This is my channel, See It With C, and thanks for coming to chat with me. This is the Monday meetup where I don't go live every Monday, but when I go live, we are getting ready to travel. There's about to be a trip announcement, and this is my opportunity to share with you just some of the tips, pointers, things that I encountered since the last video. So let's see who we have in the chat. We got some early birds. Let's see who we have here. And let me know if my mic is too loud. I finally got my white mic to work. I did a little troubleshooting during my lunch break and figured out what was going on. So I think I have the Yeti back in style. Let's see. Who we got? Nadine says, "Hey, Carlene, everyone. Hi, Nadine. Welcome in. Thanks for being early and welcome in 8 people." We have Desiree, who's a channel member, saying, "Hey, Carlene in chat. Welcome in, Desiree. I hope you are doing well." We have the new homeowner herself, Kristen H is here, and she is a moderator and member. Thanks for being in here, Kristen, and being in the chat earlier today when we were I was kind of running back the Valiant Lady series. Today, or not today, this weekend, actually, shout out to all of you all, particularly the birthday girlies. People who've been reaching out for me to schedule trips for them for their birthday have had me busy. So I try to edit on Fridays, but I've been missing my Friday editing time because I've been like trip planning for people. So my plan was not to put out the Valiant Lady movie until next Monday because I'll be traveling this weekend. But I had to go ahead and move that thing up, child. So thank you for Christian for being in here. And I decided to try a different format where we kind of did like a lunchtime premiere of that video or that movie. So thanks for being in there, Kristen. My cruising family is in here. Welcome in, my cruising family. And she is speaking to the chat. Y'all got manners. I love it. Parker's on the go. It's saying, "Hey fam, it's a meetup." Yes, my name is Carlene, and this is my channel, See It With C. And we don't go live every Monday. When we go live, we are going live for a trip announcement, as well as to talk about the content that was released between meetups. So let's see who else we got here. And then Parkers on the Go are trying to give the pop-up cruisers a run for their money by being the pop-up travelers. So I don't know if y'all are paying attention to Parkers on the Go. Follow their IG stories. It looks like they got something brewing. It looks like a trip is happening. I can't tell if they're in a parking garage or if they're in an airport. So lock into Parkers on the Go because I feel like they got a little surprise brewing on their end. They're speaking to everyone. Ruby's baby is saying, "Hey, Couch Cruise fam. Hey, Ruby's baby, welcome in." We gotta squeeze a couch cruise in. I was debating on what I wanted to do because I know there's been some developments in the cruise streets that I know y'all want to talk about. So I know there's been Carnival Celebration Key. Carnival has been starting to roll out more details. And then the Disney girls decided they just wanted to DEI that Disney Destiny situation. So it's been interesting to kind of watch the developments. Really excited about that. So I feel like a couch cruise is coming in my spirit. After the trip that I'm about to announce happens, I'll probably have some downtime. So maybe we'll dig into some of these developments as there's a lot going in the cruising industry. MH Family Adventures is here. Thanks for being a channel member, MH Family Adventures. And she is saying, "Hi, Carlene. Hey, welcome in, Rockwell. Greatly appreciate you for being here." I was watching your travel day. I was watching a lot of travel day videos today. I went back and watched my cruising family's travel day to their flight, how they did the editing for their flight to South Africa. I was watching your members only vlog about your travel day to the West Coast to cruise. Because I love travel day vlogs, but the algorithms don't seem to love the travel day vlogs. So I was sitting here today and I watched a new channel to me. She was going to Portugal. Anywho, I was sitting here watching. I'm like, is it how I edit it? I don't know, but I love a good airplane, a vlog that includes airplane, particularly the airplane food. And welcome in 17 people. My cruising family, she's about to hop on the live stream from her phone, so you won't be able. No worries, no worries. Just happy you are here. Monet to the T. Hi, Monet. Welcome in, girl. Who else we got here? Yes, my cruising family. So, yep, I don't go live every Monday. I only go live for a Monday meetup, particularly whenever I'm about to make a trip announcement. So we are traveling this week, and that's why we're having a Monday meetup, which is very different from a couch cruise. Monday meetup, I kind of get into, I've been learning that there's a lot of pieces when I'm editing videos that I leave out. Like somebody had a really good question about on Valiant Lady, the Curb app, the app that I use to catch a cab. And it was one more question I can't remember, but I edit out a lot of this stuff. So Monday meetup is my time to talk about like, hey, this is what happened when I was, on this trip, that trip, give you a little more details. And then of course end it with the trip announcement. So welcome in everybody. And then we got Phil and D's travel spree. Welcome in, Phil and D. They were on the high seas, cranking out that Utopia content before they have to head back to the good old education setting. So happy y'all are in here. So many people. Sat and Jazzy Lady, welcome in. Yes, Parks on the Go. I am watching. I'm stalking those stories because I need more hints. And welcome in 24 people. My name is Carlene, and we talk about cruising and what the updates are. And then there's an announcement happening about where I am traveling this week. I know I snuck one in on y'all because I said I was going to be parked until October. Anybody remember I said that? I lied. I apologize for lying to you. Actually, it wasn't a lie. I thought I was going to be parked until October, and then I kind of saw an offer I couldn't refuse. So I said, let me just sneak one more cruise, particularly since I had to cancel because I was supposed to do Utopia this season, August. And that would have gave me some gap content, even though I have a lot of content I'm learning. I'm quite behind, not behind in posting. I'm on my schedule for posting, but I have a lot of content that's just kind of in the storage. So I don't need to cruise, but it was kind of like I saw a really good deal. So I was like, let me just go ahead and get another trip in. So that way I can make sure I get to my October cruise, which channel members, I think I might record that trip announcement right after I end this live since I'm somewhat presentable, even though I'm like a wet puppy because I just got done, if you're on my IG stories, working out and had like spray my hair down. But yeah, I think that October cruise is going to be epic. And I think I'm going to go ahead and record that for the channel members this evening. Alrighty, let's see who else we got here. My cruising family. Oh yeah, said yes, Disney. Oh yeah, Disney's releasing the announcements, and they've been, building the suspense. They did a 3-day rollout. I know we're not going to talk about couch cruising, but we got to talk about Disney. That Disney Destiny is going to be something special. Because definitely the tribute to Chadwick Boseman, which that was a shocker to so many of us, how he was cranking out movies, and then his death was announced. But then I can't believe like Disney has never had a Lion King show on its ship, because Lion King like pulls numbers. Like you can't get Lion King off of Broadway. It still pulls in numbers. Lion King came to DC in like June. It was selling out the Kennedy Center. So I can't believe it took until now, but it's kind of cool that they kind of packaged that all together. So I have nicknamed the Disney Destiny the Disney DI ship. And that's what it's going to be to me. Okay, let's fight. Leslie said, hi, Leslie, welcome in. Parker's on the Go says she loves a good travel day too. I just jump in random people videos to see how they get to places. Yeah, but whenever I start a video, maybe it's how I package it, but if I start a video going straight into like I'm at the airport, it seems like I don't have that good retention. So I'll keep playing around with that. I'm going to give up on it. And I mean, it's not about the numbers. It's about showing people how to get back and forth and travel and what your travel experience is like at the airport. So I know it's value, but I've just been learning that if I open my cruise vlogs like that, particularly my embarkation day vlog, I think people get so excited about seeing the embarkation process that they're like, girl, we don't even care about you and, your row 25 in basic economy. So welcome in, Parkers on the Go. Sig the solo cruiser is here saying, hey there, Sig with C. Yes, hey Sig. And if y'all are paying attention, Sig has got very creative. Sig has got very creative and has introduced, I don't know, is that AI Sig? Has introduced a new character to the cruise streets called Siggy. And Siggy got bars apparently. So let's get into a few more of these hellos. What else in controversial cruising? I'm going to then get into my notes and talk about what have we been up to since the last Monday meetup. Welcome in Yolanda Jackson. Welcome in Nadine Bell. Welcome in Michelle Lewis. People are speaking. And Sig is saying, where you at? See, Sig comes in here cheating. Sig, I do not make the trip announcement until we talk about the latest video. So let's get into it. So the last time we had a Monday meetup was Monday, July 8th. And since then, what have I released? We have released, I know y'all are tired of me talking about it, but I want to give some more behind the scenes. I'm going to go really quickly. You can probably guess what I'm about to say. Snorkeling with sharks. because I'm very proud of myself. But since July 8th, that was the video that one of the videos that I released. I released the Virgin Voyages Valley Lady Snorkeling with Sharks, and I released the embarkation day of Carnival Jubilee, and the port stops for Carnival Jubilee. So let's get into that a little bit, and we'll talk about it in the chat. First, I got to give a shout out to Virgin. Virgin picked some really, really good excursion vendors. They do a really good job of making sure they're like the community not community, locals. So their excursion providers have a direct impact on the local economy. And the provider, I have to find their name, but they knocked it out of the park and made sure everybody was safe during that shenanigans of a snorkeling with shark situation. Because I didn't realize it was like 50 sharks down there, while I'm just like chugging along in my my little mask and my my little flippers. So yeah, I had to give just a shout out to Virgin for that. Because I don't think I really covered about like how good they do with their trip planning and how they really keep things local. Folks are still speaking to the Parkers. Cool. Steph Stone says, "What up, C?" Hey, Steph Stone, welcome in. Thanks for coming into the premiere earlier today. All right, so some newer content, because I know y'all like, if she says snorkeling with sharks one more time, we're done. But I wanted you all to indulge with me in that, because that was an excursion I had to do like a do-over. I had went to Belize it was actually for a birthday trip. I flew into Belize, I can't remember how long ago it was, 2014, 15, 16, something like that. And we had a bootleg excursion. It was very much a difference from when you have a quality tour provider and not so quality tour provider. So when we went to Belize, we were with a group and we were kind of like, well, we can just charter like a little boat, and the boat can like, take us to a couple places. Well, when I say that excursion was tragic, we were caught in a current. So it's like, sometimes it's okay to pay a little extra to make sure that your safety's intact and that the people who are working with you do their thing. So yeah, previously I went to Belize. I had an opportunity to snorkel with sharks, but however, because of the shenanigans that the tour operator was kind of giving us throughout the day, it was a full length excursion. And I mean, from the first stop, which was, we were caught in a current, because the guy, I'm looking at it, I'm like, he was like, "Oh, this is a little choppy." And I'm looking like, I think I can see that like we might not should be out there. And it was interesting because like other boats came behind us and they were a little further out. So it was to the point that like a rescue boat had to come get us. So that was the first stop. It was like snorkeling that reef in Belize. I can't remember. It's like one of the largest barrier reefs outside of Australia, I believe, or maybe I'm messing up. It's been a while. So needless to say, whenever the second part of the trip came, which was snorkeling with sharks, I like panicked and I was like, I can't do this. Like they screwed up on the first stop. I have no confidence in the tour operator. And like one person in our group of like 10 got out and like actually got in. And those were like, I think those like bull sharks, nurse sharks, something like that. They were like more not orange, brownish. I was just like, you know what, I'm good. You can go home. So since then, I've been wanting to do that excursion, but I was just like scared. So when Virgin had it as an excursion, I was like, okay, Carlene, I've done the Virgin Voyages training I am a trained TA, travel agent with Virgin Voyages. I learned so much about like how much thought that they put into their tour operations, whether it's adventure or whether it's, sorry, my thing was about to fall. Whether it's adventure, whether it's like culinary things, whether it's like locals, they really put a lot of thought into like who they have as tour operators. So I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this again, have a redo of the situation, let's do it with Virgin. And when I say like they just knocked it out of the park with comfortability. Sorry, what is back there? I see something in the thing, but I can't tell. Anyway, I need to focus on the story. I was like, let's do this with Virgin. And then they knocked it out of the park with just like the professionalism. The guys were like, they never lost a person doing it. They have travelers as young as 6 who get out there and snorkel with the sharks. So yeah, ended up being a really cool video. And from the vlogging perspective, because I was freaking out the whole time. Like if you listen to that video, you can hear me like squealing and screaming a little bit. The provider understood the assignment, and after I got my amateur footage, he took my GoPro and got some really, really great footage. So if you're interested, I highly recommend that excursion. It's actually one that I would do again because I would like to do more time inside of the Sapona shipwreck. I didn't stay inside the wreck very long, but yeah, highly recommend that excursion. It wasn't super pricey. So yeah. All right, I promise y'all, I'm not going to talk about the story with the shark excursion anymore. Y'all are going to go watch that video. And you're more importantly, you're going to go do it yourself and come back and tell me how it was. Welcome in 35 people. My name is Carlene. This is a Monday meetup. I don't go live every Monday, but when I go live, there is a trip announcement and we are preparing to travel this week. So yeah, I'll be making that announcement. But before I make that announcement, I'm kind of going through some of the videos that I released. So I released the Virgin Voyages, Snorkeling with Sharks, and then by popular kind of request, it was a good time to do it, Carnival Jubilee. So that was my family trip. Pat myself on the back as a solo cruiser. I survived the family trip. My family understood the assignment that when I dip off, that means I am recording stuff and having some me time. And so, yeah, we did a 7-day Western Caribbean cruise on Carnival Jubilee, which is Carnival's newest ship. Oh, I see what it's catching now. It's catching my external batteries. Sorry, that was bothering me. And that video is doing excellent numbers. So if you have any questions about Virgin Voyages, Valiant Lady, if you have any questions about Carnival Jubilee, I'm more than happy to answer those. But let's get into a little bit about traveling to Galveston from the East Coast, because I'm an East Coast girl. So it's a little hike to get over to Galveston. We stayed the night before, and then we hopped on the ship. Q was here. I'm pretty sure this is a new name for me. Says, hey, y'all. And he's speaking to everyone. And thank you, Q. Yes, do what Q was here. Says, and hit that like button for me. So we can just get out the information to everybody and welcome in 40 people. So yeah, I caught Southwest Airlines first thing smoking because for some reason out of DC, getting to Houston is pricey. And Southwest was probably the cheapest thing. And people know Q. Okay. People say, yo, Q. All right. Nice to meet you, Q. Happy you're here. So yeah, I got on Southwest Airlines, first thing smoking out of DC. It was a little bit of a learning curve because my mom is a little elderly. My mom's 76. So trying to learn that whole since Southwest has now changed the whole boarding process, which I am happy about. I don't know if y'all feel the same way that Southwest switched it up and now we're going to do assigned seats. My mom was kind of at first she thought my mom is shady. She thought I took her money because she was like, where is my seat? And I was like, this airline doesn't give you a seat. When they start calling names and numbers, we're going to stand up and we're just going to hope for the best and try to get together. Well, I didn't realize she beat me to the airport because I have this thing because I live in DC. It only takes me 15 minutes to get there. So when I say I roll up to the airport, I just be rolling up to the airport. But my mom was at the airport at 3 o'clock in the morning for a 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning flight. So she checked herself in, but she didn't. We learned since that when you go on Southwest Airlines and if you need extra assistance, just say that at the check-in counter and they kind of make that accommodation for you without any questions. However, it's trickier to do it at the gate. And the first lady who helped us at the gate, she was actually, I can't even say helped us. She was no help. This lady, she was like, well, age is not a disability. Ma'am, I'm a special educator. I'm not going to argue on age is not a disability. You got that. We're not going to be ageist around here. However, I am telling you that this 76-year-old woman, does not fly often. She needs me to be with her. She's not going to just go on a plane and sit down. Or it was, we can wait till, I think, group C or something. They could have boarded with me. No. I could board with them in group C because I was group B or something like that. We booked separate. I don't remember. So a lady overheard the initial agent being snappy and she was like, ma'am, give me your ticket. And she went and handled his business and was like, you all can get on with the, extra assistance group. So I said, you know what? I appreciate, there was a little ram in the bush situation that lady just overheard, what was going on. Cause I'm it was only 4 people asking for special assistance. So truly, ma'am, you could have let us on, but whatever. We learned our lesson on the way back and we made sure our mom checked in on the way back home and it was much easier. She had the wheelchair assistance and it was smooth sailing. Let's get into the chat before I get into Galveston, we finally got there, and see if we have like any tips, suggestions, that kind of thing. MH Extremely Adventure says, yes, the travel day content hurts our embarkation day reach. Yeah, I noticed you all do your travel day with your members only. So yeah, I gotta see, or just sometimes just chuck it up to not being being a low performing video. But for you content creators, like we are counting on embarkation day videos to kind of slap. So I need them numbers to number. Parks and a Go says, nah, that was a multi-talented Sig. Okay, it was no AI. It was Big Siggy for sure. Check out, you can see Sig, the solo cruise is new. It's like an avatar Sig. Anyway, it's a really cute character that she created that's helping folks navigate solo travel. So shout out to Sig for being very creative. It's okay. I got it. I figured I was multi-talented. Folks are speaking. Chill T says, I saw the seashells. She sells seashells and clicked so fast. Castaway K. Oh, okay. We're putting guesses in. I'm going to talk about Galveston really quickly. I'm going to get through Carnival Jubilee Embarkation Day, and then I'll be making a trip announcement, but it's happening this week, selling away this week. And that's why I do the Monday meetup where I make my trip announcements. Who else we got? Want to know? Here we go. Says, yes, don't tell anybody. She says, I just realized I'm selling with you soon. Hey, TNT. Welcome in, Tim and Tiny. Tiny. Tim. I don't know why I was saying Tiny and Tim, Jesus. Welcome in, Adventures. I was watching y'all's icon video, and again, shout out to y'all for making the most of a terrible travel day situation trying to get there. I don't know if I finished all of it, but I saw a good chunk of the beginning. I probably got to go back and finish up. Miss Dee is here saying hi, C in chat. And she's speaking to everybody. Controversial Cruising says the Barrier Reef, absolutely beautiful, but yes, sharks. Yeah, but I can't remember for Belize. Is it called the Barrier Reef in Belize? Because I know you have like the Great Barrier Reef, right? I'm about to feel like I'm about to give y'all my public school education. The Great Barrier Reef, which is like what, like Australia-ish, right? And then Belize has like the second largest, I think, coral reef of some sort outside of that region, outside of like that Australia situation. So yeah, I was able to go on a trip there, but it was kind of like we picked a bootleg tour provider, which makes all the difference. And I just, how your gut is just like, this is not safe, like don't push it. And when I say like literally I was in the middle of the ocean, like holding on to the buoy. And I was cool until like one of the people in our group, this is not with a Virgin Voyages excursion, this is me doing a bootleg excursion in Belize some odd years ago. I think it was 2016. I can't remember. I gotta look at my Instagram pictures to figure out what year that was. But yeah, I was chill until like one of the girls in the group was like doing one of these numbers and I just like panicked. So yeah. Needless to say, when we got to the shark part, I was like, if y'all can't do snorkeling right, I sure as hell ain't about to get in the water with sharks, and y'all done tried to get me to snatch out to sea. Tanya, I don't know why I was saying T. My bad. Thank you, Tanya and Timmy. MH Family Adventure says, I definitely want to do that excursion. You should. You really should. I think I would do it again. I would totally do it again. And shoot, maybe I might do it for my I got a group cruise coming up for the Good Government Getaway, which is October 29th through September 3rd, 2025. You're interested? We have already booked a couple of cabins. I know people are trying to like solidify where they're going, whose group cruise they taking. So as you're making the decisions, consider coming along. We have a group that's starting to form. And maybe, I don't know, we'll see what the vibe is. See if we have some adventurous cruisers out there who would give snorkeling with sharks a try. Folks are laughing at probably Tanya. Chill T says, hello everyone in the chat. Yes, you were brave. I enjoyed watching. Wouldn't be doing it though. Oh, it's cool. It's cool. I get it. Like there are some things I just would not do, but it literally was like a mental check off my list. Cause I was just like, it seemed like such a cool thing to do, Belize. I punked out and I was just like, I gotta do this. And initially I was this close to talking myself out. Like if you watch maybe I was with the members, I gave my members an uncut video of the whole thing. And because, as we're editing, we have to cut so much out, because we all have the attentions of squirrels. So like you have to cut out so much. But before I got in the water, there's a guy, it was kind of one of them boats that had like the double entry points. There was a guy on the right, and me and him were both like, you gonna do this? Are you going to do this? And like, we kind of just like 1, 2, 3, go. So yeah, it definitely took some pumping up, but like once you're out there, it kind of helps you understand nature a little bit. And my strategy was like, I'm going to just swim around all these other people so that we just look like one big, massive blob of a fish. So pretty much the sharks stay away from you. But it was those adventurous people who were like snorkeling out like by themselves, like away from the group. They got some like nice close encounters. And as you see with the guy took my GoPro, he got some really close encounters because like they kind of get more curious when you're out there by yourself. But if you stay on the slack line where most of the scaredy cats like myself were, they didn't come close at all. So they kind of stayed about a good 6 feet, pretty low, pretty below you. Folks are saying, hey, Regina, welcome in, girl. Regina, I was watching that Carnival Sunrise video, and I said, I miss me a good old Carnival cruise, girl. It's something about seeing that orange couch that was just like, I need to get back on Carnival. Not just the Carnival, because, I mean, the Excel class ships are cool. But there's something about the little seasoning that them old behind Carnival ships got, the ones you don't know if the engine going to start or not. Like, them be the fun ones sometimes. Just, dip your toe back into, where your humble cruising beginnings were. So it was cool to see that video. Okay, so let's get into talking about Galveston, talking about Carnival Jubilee. So my family, we stayed at the True by Hilton, which was on the strip of Galveston, a little further away from like all the stuff. But it was walkable, so it was a nice evening walk to like go. But you can stay like in a different location. I think if I go back to Galveston, I would try to stay closer to the cruise port. And because like the downtown Galveston has like that cool like Main Street feel. So yes, Parker's gonna go. My mom is one of them moms that if she feels like if she's not there at 4:00 in the morning, she's gonna miss her flight. And like sis was, now granted, I was pushing it. I think I got there probably like 40. I was in the airport 40 minutes prior to boarding. I was pushing it a little bit, maybe longer because they took my luggage. But she was so funny. She was calling me like, I know you ain't missing this flight. And I'm like, lady, like I do this. But yep, I had the mama who be at the cruise port. I mean, at the airport at 2 a.m. with a blanket, child, sitting there drinking coffee, making sure she don't miss that flight. She says my mom is like my aunt. She's going to be early too. Yeah, she'd rather be there and then like take the chance of missing it. And for all of my sake and all of my like patience, and it's just best that she gets there early so I don't have to hear it. So yeah, Galveston was cute, little Main Street feel. I would go back there, but I would stay closer to the cruise port. And I know Parker's gonna go Harbor House is where they stay, like probably something like that, or maybe that's where y'all ate, but somewhere in that direction. I think if I were to go back to Galveston, I would do that. However, Jubilee, at this point, I've been on all three. So I've been on Carnival Mardi Gras twice. I've been on Celebration during the inaugural. And then I had the honor of doing Jubilee. And I will say, like, I don't know, for something about Celebration, it didn't have oomph for me. Like, it didn't have a lot of personality. But that Carnival Jubilee got a little spunk. And I will say the Texas cruisers are, like, a little different to cruise with. Like, they're fun, but they're not, like, oh, the Miami cruise is about to hate me. They're not like the obnoxious, rambunctious fun that's like a cruise leaving out of Miami where everybody's just like too turned. They were a good time, but like a settle. I don't know how to explain it. It's something about that oil money. But the Texas cruises were a good time. But that Kendall Fire, shout out to Kendall Fire, she is the epitome of a great cruise director. So Jubilee has moved up. I feel like if I had to pick the three, and I know everybody's like, well, all the Excel classes are the same, but a ship can be built the same and have a different personality. Like, for instance, Scarlet Lady and Valiant Lady, right? Pretty much same ship, subtle differences. However, I felt like Valiant Lady had a little more soul, a little more oomph than Scarlet, if that makes sense to you. So Jubilee is probably up there in one of my favorite carnival ships. Just because of like the staff they have. Kendall's a great cruise director. Like I've never seen a cruise director be in the casino cheering people on at the slot machine. I thought that was fun. So yeah. Nadine Bell says, good for you. Parkinson Ghost says, I always get my mom will. Oh, good for you and that agent. I had to put some context clues together. Yes. That lady, I'm glad she overheard it. And you never know. It was like a lesson in be kind to people, because you never know when that person is going to come and help you out. What will never get caught on camera, because again, we're always editing, some of those human interactions. I had kind of helped the same lady about 10 minutes prior to her helping me. So she was one of the ladies who was bringing on all the, like when people are traveling and they have like the baby seat and the carrier and all that other stuff. So she was one of the Southwest employees who were lugging on people's car seats and strollers and that kind of stuff. And I saw her coming. I was like, oh, excuse me, here, yeah, go away. No problem. I'm out your way, just being really kind to her, only for her to turn around 10 minutes and give that same energy back to me when I really needed it, and make sure that my mom was able to load or board the plane, with the people who needed assistance. So just never know. You better be nice to everybody, because you never know when that energy going to come back, or you could be nasty. And you never know when that energy will come back to you too. So welcome in 43 people. My name is Carlene. This is the Monday Meetup. We don't go live every Monday, but when we go live, we are making a trip announcement, because we are about to travel soon. So usually I go live the week I'm about to travel. And we are traveling this week. So I'm talking about Carnival Jubilee. Let me know if y'all have any questions about Jubilee, and then I'll get into the trip announcement. So yeah, Sellaway was cool in Jubilee. I took some of y'all's advice, because y'all were like, go ahead, take some time, me time. So I had dinner by myself at Fahrenheit 555. It was cool. I will also say, if I don't do another cruise ship steakhouse again, I will be A-okay. I think that might be my last cruise ship. I think I want to try, no, I take that back. I still need to try Celebrity Steakhouse. But yeah, it's starting to become like all these steaks taste the same, and they give you the cute little knife, and they give you the salt. And so yeah, but that's where I did had dinner on my first night on the ship, to get that free bottle of wine. And yes, they still give the free bottle of wine, so that was cool. The next video that I released was the port days. So as you all know, that Western Caribbean itinerary. Oh wait, Ruby's baby says something. Ruby's baby says travel day is only interesting if people are lit the whole way through. Yeah, like I'm more interested in showing you, because sometimes people just need to see the process of, like, there are people who literally don't fly on a frequent basis. And for me, like, I want to show, okay, like, this is how you navigate certain situations. This is like where the lounge is. Like, sometimes instead of having a long stay in a terminal, like, just get you a lounge pass. So I kind of like want to be informative in that way. I don't think I'm lit on travel day. Like, for instance, this travel day is going to be and a lot of times travel days are 6 o'clock in the morning flights, because like you're on the first thing smoking out of the city, so you can get to that cruise port on time. But I just want to like figure out a way how to package travel day to like give people that information, and just show them like what airport life is like. But and flying is like too. Because there are a lot of people who break flying etiquette rules that it's just like, look, don't stand up as soon as they start calling names. You still are probably in zone 10. Those kind of things. But I get it doesn't keep people's attention. They just want to get to loading the cruise ship. So I got to figure out a way to do this. I don't even remember who I shaded, but Margaret Logan says, oh my gosh, those sharks were everywhere, weren't they? And then when we got on the boat, y'all gotta go watch that video. Go back and watch the video, because when we got on the boat, they fed the sharks. So it's something that was like interesting because what they did was when we pulled into, and again, like stuff that I didn't show in the video, which is like why I like to do the Monday meetup so I can show y'all all the things or tell y'all all the things. When we first pulled into the area with the sharks, and I thought they were gonna be like little reef sharks, like something tiny. Like, no, they weren't Jaws, but they were his cousin or something. So when we pull into the reef, the boat circles 3 times. And I think with it circling, it was kind of like, or yeah, because they're reef sharks. When they circle, I think their sharks are like, oh, the people that feed us are here. But they don't feed them immediately. So you get out, but then when you get back in, they feed the sharks then. And to see how they eat, it's kind of like, I'm glad y'all didn't have these hunger pains when I was in the water. And welcome in 25 people. Together We Travel says we did that excursion. The sharks did get too close for comfort. And were y'all out on the slack line, or were y'all out, like, were you by a bunch of people, or did you drift away from other people? I'm curious about that one. But too close for comfort is also kind of like, yeah. Regina says, I love this shirt. Oh, thank you. I got this shirt at homecoming. I love a cute little statement shirt. I was gonna wear my Kamala shirt, but I figured, gotta keep the live stream popping. My cruising family says, yes, Harbor House next time is super convenient to the Galveston cruise port. And I think I'm going to take that up. I had this goal of getting on all of Royal Caribbean's big ships for a bit. And then I had to cancel that goal. I can't remember why I canceled it, but I ended up canceling that goal. I can't remember what I did. It could have been the car situation, having to buy another car or something. But I was supposed to be on like Utopia. I was going to be on Harmony. I had deposits on all of these. Utopia, Harmony in December. So that would have me back in Galveston. I was having to be on Wonder. So I canceled all of those. But yeah, I don't know when I'm going to get back to Galveston, but I want to get back to Galveston to cruise for sure. So I got to see what other ships. I would even do the Jubilee again, to be honest, but good to know. Parker said the Harbor House when they were in Galveston. Good to know. Yeah. And then Michelle Lewis says Kindle Fire is fire. Yeah. For me, it wasn't, she didn't do too much. She was just the right amount of flavor for a Carnival cruise. And she has the cutest outfits. Oh, okay. So I did lie. I would do Cagney's. I would do Cagney's again because I enjoy Cagney's on Norwegian Prima. But I am high key over cruise ship steakhouses. We get a question. Shout out to Nadine Bell for being the first question of the evening. Nadine Bell says, did you try Emerald's restaurant? How was it? Did I try Emerald's restaurant? Yes, girl. Couldn't keep me out of Emerald's. So I tried, my first time having Emerald's restaurant was on Mardi Gras. And the shrimp and grits have me in a chokehold. However, the shrimp and grits on Celebration weren't as good. And then it was like Carnival Jubilee tightened up the recipe. So I would highly recommend if you go to Emerald's. It all depends on what you get. I enjoy the shrimp and grits at Emerald's. I think that's a strong recommendation. And the red beans and rice are pretty solid. Each one has a different menu. So that's something to be noted as well. So the menu at the Mardi Gras is probably the smallest menu. And they all have different seating areas between the three. The Jubilee, I think, had more seafood options. Now, what I want Emerald's to get, though, is Emerald's does not serve any alcohol. And so when you're on the Jubilee particularly, like, it has kind of a brunch vibe. And you're like, ooh, can I get a mimosa? And they're like, we don't have a bar. So I would just recommend that to Carnival. Like, how are you going to have a New Orleans themed restaurant and you don't have no libations? That is a whole New Orleans violation. So I highly recommend Emerald's. And the video that's coming out, the video I was supposed to put out today, but I ended up running out of time to edit. I do an Emerald's cooking class. So I do the full cooking class, and that should be coming out on the next vlog whenever I have time to edit. Probably, look at my calendar, probably the 26th of August. I'll have kind of like a C-Day review. But I do the full, hair in my mouth. I do a full Emerald's cooking class, and they give you the I'm not going to break it. I'm not going to mess it up. But yeah, we'll talk about that the next Monday meetup. But yeah, do it. Don't miss it. Nicole Chanel says, hey, see, did I miss the next cruise announcement? You have not. I'm still talking about Carnival Jubilee, but I'm wrapping it up. Just seeing if anybody has any more questions about Jubilee. So what did I show you? Ports. So Carnival Jubilee was the first time, or a port, not Carnival Jubilee. But I cover the 3 ports that are part of the Carnival Jubilee 7-day Western Caribbean itinerary. So there's a video out there that's like, look at me looking for the perfect beach. And that was the first time I was hosted for an excursion. And it lived up to the picture. So I did the, what's it called? Little French Key. Highly recommend Little French Key. I talk extensively about it. I'm having some shorts coming up with that. It's a beautiful, beautiful beach. And I believe if you catch Little French Key on like a Saturday or Sunday when there's a sailing, it has more of a party vibe than what you see. I think they have like beach parties. So look into that if you plan on going to Little French Key. I don't recommend that for a large group. I don't think, unless they have some kind of alternative transportation I'm not aware of. Or maybe consider, if I'm not sure if Carnival sells the excursion, but they hosted me themselves. So thank you, Little French Key, for doing that. It was totally my vibe. A beautiful, I have not seen crystal clear water like that in a long time. Pretty reasonably priced. But it's just a little bit of a hop, skip, and jump, particularly if you're selling on Carnival. It was some people who were commenting, who were watching the video, were saying that where Carnival lets you off in Roatan is harder to get to the independent tour excursions. And when you get to Little French Key, they're going to have like a little small boat that takes you over. So like, I wouldn't recommend that for like, if you have a group of 50. I would recommend that if you have like, you know, a small family of 6, 8, something small, because you have to get on a little boat once you get to the check-in point, and then it takes you across to like, it's like a little island. So that was what I did in Roatan. I want to go back to Roatan because the Mahogany Bay looks kind of nice. Oh yeah, so I did try it on Nadine. I did try the Emeralds Bistro on Jubilee. I get, anytime I'm at a ship that has emeralds. Now I will say, do not let them bamboozle you into the Emeralds meal items that are on the menu, and you are not on a ship that has Emeralds Bistro. Go to Emeralds Bistro, because I was on Carnival, I think Valor, and they had those little Emeralds items, not the same. So make sure you go to Emeralds Bistro. And yeah, I did go to the one in Jubilee, and I swear up and down, the one on Jubilee has more seafood options than the ones on Mardi Gras and Celebration. Cruising Capers here. She's saying, welcome in, everyone. Joritha says, I saw them sharks when the guy took your GoPro. Yeah, it's like a whole nother world underneath the boat. Even the amount of fish that were under there, because the first stop on the snorkeling excursion didn't have a whole lot of fish. So it was kind of cool to see. I like to see marine life, but I don't necessarily like want to see a whole lot of it like right in front of my face. Like, I like when I'm snorkeling, like one fish comes by and another fish comes by. So anywho, let's see. We got a couple more comments here. Together We Travel says, we were away from most of the people. I don't think I'll do it again. Yeah, I noticed that like when people spread out or are alone, the sharks get a little more curious about you. So when we got back on the boat, there was one guy who, the excursion boat, there was one guy who like, he was just like, he gonna get all his time and money out in the ocean. So he was out there by himself. And at one point, like one of the sharks was like swimming right behind him, like towards him. And then it turned kind of like what would feel like last minute to me. But it was just a different energy when you were out there. So I just decided to stay closer to like the people, because it looked like we were one big clump of folks versus like trying to snorkel away for that part of the location. Curtis Polk says, Carlene, how many of those hot, fluffy, tasty beignets did you eat at Emeralds? I did better this time on Jubilee. So when I was on Mardi Gras, I ordered beignet. Both times, I probably ordered them beignets like every other day. Another tip: don't order the beignet if you're on a ship that does not have an Emeralds Bistro and they have the beignet on the menu in the main dining room. Don't do it. Don't play yourself. But I only had, I think, two this trip. But usually Emerald's over a hot cup of coffee is my jam. So thanks for that question. The other ports that you'll see in the videos are, where do we go? We went to the Crazy Lobster. And the thing to point out there was the cab drivers will try you. So we were getting the cab line for Crazy Lobster. Everything's fine. We're just chatting, talking, and all of a sudden the taxi cab driver was like, do y'all have a reservation for the Crazy Lobster? And we're like, no. And he was like, well, you need a reservation. It's full. And I was just like, had to put on my little street smarts cap. And I was just like, well, just take us there. And if it's full, we'll just get back in your cab. He was basically trying to take us to, so I was just like, well, where do you recommend? And he was like, some trying to make up a name of some like random place. So I just said, no, just take us to Crazy Lobster. And if it's full, we'll just get back in your cab. You get more money. And sure enough, he was lying. He was trying to get us to go to his homeboy and homegirl spot that day. So just FYI, the cab drivers may try you in Costa Maya, but yeah, most places, it's not like a Mr. Sancho's or anything like that. They were literally for Crazy Lobster. They were literally pulling out tables and chairs, making tables and not making tables, making tables, for you to sit on, sit at. So I will say if they try to get you to go to somebody's homeboy spot, just tell them take you there anyway and see what happens. Adventurer says you got that right about the beignets. They were good. They also had them in the dining room, but of course they weren't NOLA. And I would say try to steer away from the ones. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I definitely know there were a no if you are on a smaller ship that does not have a bistro at all. But I'm trying to think. Did one of my cousins order beignet on Jubilee, and it was when we were in the dining room and they were okay? So I would say try to stick to buying the beignets at the Emerald's Bistro and not have them delivered to you in the dining room, but I can't remember. But I definitely know get them from the bistro, but just know that it might not be as consistent if you get them in the main dining room. Together We Travel says Moody Gardens is a nice place to stay for pre-cruise in Galveston. Nice to know. Kristen says, not Mr. Cabby trying to pull a fast one. Trying to pull a fast one on a fast one. I was just like, oh, what's the name of the spot? And he was like, Big Mama something. And I was just like, take us to the Crazy Lobster. And the worst come to worst, we'll just get back in your cab and you can get some more money, or we'll just find another cab and we'll figure out where to go from there. And we got to Crazy Lobster and they were just like, come on in, sit down. So yeah. The only thing I would recommend, again, something that I was not able to catch on the full-length vlog due to editing, was if you can, if you are bothered, because I would say my cousins like to shop. So they weren't bothered by the panhandle, like the people coming by who were like, do you want to buy a hat? Do you want to buy a flower? Do you want to buy, the drugs? Do you want to buy, nobody was worried about that. But if you want a more peaceful experience and don't want people like offering you items to purchase, bracelets, all that stuff, ask them to seat you closer to the water if possible. If you were kind of like, you know what, we're just gonna leave our stuff here and we'll get out in the water or go get a massage and you don't mind the people, then you can just sit anywhere. But that's my tip. If you don't want any of the hustlers, then ask them to seat you by the beach area. You'll know what I'm talking about when you get there. Adventure says I had them on Celebration. They were good at both. Okay, cool. Good to know that they were good in the dining room. So yeah, it must be as long as they have the bistro, they can fry them. So it's probably good. But I do know I got them it was a ship that did not have Emerald's Bistro. And they were like almost like oven baked. It was bad. But yeah, so you can get beignets, Tia saying, either in the dining room or at Emerald's Bistro if you want an Excel class ship. Kristen says, yes, Kristen has seen me in action with crab drivers who think they're going to just do whatever they want to do. Kristen, I almost forgot about that. This cat, I don't even know if I got time to get into that story, but let's just say Kristen and I were leaving Bayside. Was that Bayside in Miami? And this cab driver decided he was just going to add anybody to the cab and then try to charge us cash after um he pulled away from the thing. And I just said, and yes, you should try to make sure you establish the the total cost before you get into a cab when possible, or always actually. But what happened was I let my guard down for 2 seconds. So when I got into Miami airport, everything was fine. I was like, okay, cabs know we right here by Bayside. The cruise port is right here. Like, surely the cab drivers ain't gonna be cutting up over here at Bayside. Well, the guy was just basically like, we pull up a couple seconds and he was just like not turning the meter on. And I was like, can you turn the meter on? And he was like, it's $10. And I was like, it's $10 to go around the corner. And you got this random lady from the Carnival Sunrise in our car. So basically we were like, you gonna get this $5, sir. Maybe we gave him $7. I can't remember what it was, Kristen. But I knew for sure that day, Kristen and I were gonna be walking over that bridge. I thought that man was gonna put us out of the car. But something in my head told me, in my spirit said, he need this $7 more than me walking across this bridge. And sure enough, I called his bluff. But, cab riding is not for the faint of heart. But somebody, I think, was it one of y'all? Was it Ruby's baby? Somebody had asked, what app do I use when I get in cabs? I love to use the Curb app. So essentially it pairs, it's a little PIN number. It's called CURB, Curb. There should be a number. If they have the Curb app, there's a PIN number on the back of the cab's driver's, the headrest. You just plug that in there. It automatically attaches your credit card. You can tip them. And it's pretty much smooth sailing. So I highly recommend the Curb app. And if you are in Miami, the cabs have the Curb app in those, in the van or in the car. And another pointer for Miami, cruise port and airport, do not get in the van unless you need the extra space, because the vans are automatically it's like some kind of wild extra surcharge. So as much as possible, they'll try to get you, they'll be like, oh, the van is the next one that's available. Ask for a car, a sedan, like the regular, the big Crown Royals. Get in that because there's a surcharge for the van. I made that mistake getting off a Virgin Voyages ship. I can't remember which one it was. I just hopped in the first thing that was there, and then on the window it was like 30% upcharge or something wild. So don't get in a van unless you need that van. Especially if you're solo, just get into the Crown Vic. Who else we got? And I think it's trip announcement time because I've covered the ports of, and then for Cozumel, we did snorkeling with the Fury Catamaran, and they were also another really professionally ran excursion group. All right, so welcome in 42 people. I know we're almost coming up on an hour, so it's trip announcement time. Oh, wait for this. Jaretha Parker says, is the Crazy Lobster good for kids? Yes, Jaretha. It's not super deep. It's like what is it? It's waist length for adults, so kids are, it's what is it? Probably give your kid a flotation device. And they'll be good. More than the flotation device. Make sure your kids are safe, high quality life jacket. But the water is like very clear. It doesn't get very deep. They have, what is it called? Nets around the perimeter, so you don't have any like big sea creatures coming in. And it's a good time. The only like downside about the Crazy Lobster is that, girl, Siri, wasn't nobody talking to you? Sorry, my Apple Watch has been ear hustling. The only downside about Crazy Lobster is they only play, which is not the end of my world. If you're just there to chat and chill, they only play Mexican music. I was fine with that, but if you're looking for like a variety of music, because we were able to, cha-cha and, do all the things. But if you're looking for variety of music, that's not the beach club for you, but the water is great. There's like kayaking, there's a little couple water activities. So I recommend it for kids, and there were children that were there. And it doesn't get too deep. So good question. Adventures with Carnita Travelers says, hey, C. Hi, Carnita. Welcome in. All right, so let's get into the trip announcement. So thank you, 44 people, for hanging out. My name is Carlene, and it's my channel See What See. And I don't go live every Monday, but when I go live, that means I am traveling this week, and I have a trip announcement. So that's my spin on lives, unless I'm couch cruising. So we are getting on. Oh, so like you said, it's a cruise. We are getting on the MSC Seashore this week. Getting on a cute little 3-day quick cruise, in and out, can get back home before the work week starts. I have not been on MSC since Melanet Sea 2.0, which was the Seascape. So I know the Seashore is the same as the Seascape, but I know the Seashore has been on the struggle bus previously. There's been some scathing videos out about it, but I know that someone that I've been wanting to cruise with. So way back at the beginning when the pandemic wouldn't end, my cousins and we had, I think, was he on the Carnival Conquest? We had a cruise scheduled to sail with Reverend Dr. E, who was one of Carnival's like notorious, well-known cruise directors. Everybody wanted to cruise with him. Well, he has hopped fence, which I don't know what's going on at Carnival because all their cruise directors have hopped the gate and went on somewhere else. I still want Cookie to hop on Virgin and be one of their lead personalities. But anywho, I need to get back on topic. So Reverend Dr. E is the cruise director now at MSC Seashore. So it'll be interesting to, I haven't done a 3-day cruise since I think the Disney Wish was the last time I did a 3-day cruise. No, I'm lying. Celebrity Ascent. Celebrity Ascent was the last time I did a 3-day cruise. So 3-day cruises are like struggle bus because it feels like, the moment you get on, it's time for, you to get off. But I'm looking for a little quick cruise. I wasn't planning on traveling until October, which is a big cruise. So I was only parked until October, but I saw a price I couldn't refuse. I decided to get on MSC Seashore, and I had some points to get me down to Orlando. And no, I didn't want to pay it because I wasn't planning on. I know, like, usually Orlando is like one that I usually just go ahead and pay the $250 or whatever to get down from DC. No, or did I have points? Where am I going to be on? American? I think I had some flight credits because I got caught in some shenanigans. I can't remember, but whatever it was, I didn't pay the full price for the flight, so it all kind of worked out. I don't think did I use points? I can't remember, child. Let me focus. But yeah, so that's happening later this week. Actually, somebody in the chat is going to be on, a couple people in the chat are going to be on that cruise. So I'm kind of excited. I don't know what I'm looking forward to doing. I know I love Ola Tacos on MSC. I'm looking forward to see how Reverend Dr. E kind of manages the MSC crowd. I'm looking forward to see has MSC got its life together for the Seashore, because the Seashore was getting, was it Parkers, were y'all on the Seashore? And then MH got on it. And y'all had like back-to-back not great experiences or something like that. So hopefully they got that situation together. I don't know what else I'm planning to do. So yeah, if y'all have anything that y'all want to see from the vlog for Nassau and Ocean Cay, let me know. I do know Ocean Cay. Did anybody in the chat know that Ocean Cay finished its update, its remodeling? I heard. Remember at one point Ocean Cay was closed for a while and they were going other places. So I don't know. It has Ocean Cay been updated? Let me know. But yeah, that is the trip. I wasn't planning on doing this trip. I was going to just wait till October for my really big trip. But I was happy to sneak at least one more in. And then I think that gives us enough content to get probably almost through the year. I know, I can't believe we're talking about like the end of the year already. Speaking of end of the year, 40 people, if you have not subscribed already, I'm very, very close to my goal for subscribers for the year. I am about 500. I'm not saying about because I saw the number. I'm about 540-ish subscribers away from my goal for the year. So if you have not subscribed already, do me a favor and hit the subscription button and make sure you watch something. Otherwise, YouTube will delete you from the subscription list. So make sure you do that from other people's channel that you want to keep following. Let's see what the comments say about getting on the Seashore. And let me know, what should I do? And what do y'all want to see me do in Nassau? Because I'm tempted. I love Nassau. But I'm tempted to stay on the ship. And then one of my meteorology friends said that I have one of my meteorology. I only have one meteorology friend. I was telling me to expect choppy water, and they might cancel water-based excursions due to it's a disturbance a little further away, but it might just kind of stir up the ocean a little bit. So I'm debating on what I want to do when I get to Nassau. So let me know if there's anything you want to see on the channel. Shiro says, I hope it won't be the Hunger Games for you. I heard Reverend Dr. E is an awesome cruise director. Yeah, I heard he's a great cruise director. And I think I have nailed MSC's Hunger Games down pat. So my strategy for MSC Hunger Games is in the evening, like what happens is I get back to my room, call, what is it called? Meals, food, service, room service. Call room service, put an order in. Now with MSC, because it can be a little all over the place. Sometimes you have to call guest services to get to room service because the room service line be busy. So call guest services and tell them patch you to room service. And what I do is I order a snack. So I usually order like the turkey sandwich and like maybe some fruit. And I order it at night. I go take my shower. And then by the time I like get myself together for bed, they're knocking on the door probably like 10 minutes later. And then I have a little stash in my room. I will also say now the buffet, the pizza on MSC, I have to I have to clarify because I don't find their buffet pizza all that. However, pay that extra little $5, their room service pizza, chef's kiss. The buffet pizza is okay, but if you have a little $5 in your spirit, try MSC's room service pizza. They give you a whole box like you are like at an eatery or something, and it's hot and it's cheesy. So that's my recommendations for how to survive the Hunger Games that are MSC, because MSC is wild. They'll have breakfast open for like an hour. Then I'm an early eater for lunch, and they won't open lunch until 12, and I'm hungry. So yeah, I have learned I call it the MSC shuffle for food. Nadine says, enjoy. I hope you're not starving as on the Seascape 2.0. Dang, were we that hungry? I guess it came through the vlogs. Yeah, I was a little, oh yeah. And you know what too? MSC's sports bar. I think they had decent little naked wings at the sports bar were good. Now it took a little while for them to fry them, but they came out nice. So, just sharing my little MSC food strategies with y'all. But yes, keep me lifted. Hopefully we won't be playing the Hunger Games, but we shall see. Chill T, y'all are funny. Chill T says, we went on the seashore in May and had an amazing time. I think they took all the negative feedback and made improvements. I watched several vloggers who recently went and noticed a difference. Cool. I'm trying not to be shady. Not about you, Chill T, but I feel like I also see a group of vloggers who won't let go of nightmare situations on MSC. So I feel like nightmares in the algorithm, but we'll see. I'm happy to report back what the MSC seashore situation is. But I think they're taking into account. I've in full transparency, my business development manager for MSC has reached out and was like, thanks for cruising with us. We're looking forward to hearing like your thoughts. So I'm definitely going to be not just doing my survey to give them feedback, which I think most of the cruise lines have been doing really good jobs of like instantly implementing survey results. So make sure y'all do your surveys. But I'm also looking forward to whatever I say in the survey, making sure I send it to them in hopes that, they can improve because, they're going to have a standout year next year with World America coming on the scene. So they're going to have to crank it up 5 notches. Monet to the T says, I cruised on Carnival with Reverend Dr. E in 2018. Freaking amazing. Cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to, because, MSC Maravilla's sail away was cool. Seascape's sail away was weird for me because I think how their Lido deck is situated, I feel like the pools kind of disjoint the Lido deck a little bit. So it'll be cool to see like what kind of energy he'll bring to that. Maybe that's something I'm looking forward to, because I've never, outside of the one time I sailed on Maravilla, they didn't do it for me on Seascape with the sail away. So maybe he'll give us some sail away action. Looking forward to that. Oh, it was Seaside. Okay. Parkinson Go said it was Seaside. Seaside, it was a mess. Where is Seaside now? And they should not create this many ships with S's in its name. MH Adventure says it was a seaside that was horrible. Dang, so they got seascape, seaside, and seashore. Say that 5 times. Where is the seaside? I feel like I haven't heard of it. Did they go sink it somewhere? I feel like I haven't heard that ship. But I've been seeing talked about in the vlog streets, but I've been seeing a lot of stuff on seashore recently. MH Family Adventure says it's not finished, but it's open. Oh, okay. Ocean K is still going through renovations. So it'd be cool to see what the updates are. I know they're going to try to expand some of the food areas, and I heard they're going to like expand the children's area. So it'll be interesting to see what updates. But it's not finished. Cool. My cruising family says you got it down to a science. Yes, because what I'm not going to be on vacation is hungry. And my friends know that. They laugh at me because they know I'm the person on vacation that like I eat and I'm planning my next snack. My cruising family is survival skills is finest. You ain't gonna catch me slipping. Regina says, I'll have to remember that. Never had MSC room service before. I only ate it in the buffet every night. That pizza was a saving grace. Yeah, the pizza was good because we were hungry. We didn't have no options. Like, it was literally like people were running out of the club trying to get a slice of pizza. But I'm telling you, the buffet pizza has nothing on. Order the room service pizza. It's $5, and they're gonna bring you a box like you ordered from Pizza Hut or Domino's, like a box. Like they act like they're the delivery person, and that pizza in there is hot, cheesy, fresh. Parkinson Go says you were hungry because you got on a scent and tore that food. Parkinson Go caught me snacking in the late night buffet. And it was funny because when we were on Celebrity Edge from LNC 3.0, a few people were on Celebrity Edge were like, they kind of felt like celebrities' food wasn't hitting. And I was kind of like, well, when I was on the set, that food was bomb. But then I had to like temper my expectations because I had to remember when I got on the set, I was fresh off of Seascape. And I was just like to see the variety, and it was seasoned well and it looked edible. So yeah, I had to have a come to Jesus moment on Celebrity Edge for a second. Because if y'all are in the live, Shantia was talking about the food on Celebrity. And I was like, this food is good. And then a couple days later, I was kind of like, I can see what she means. But overall, I think Celebrity does decent with the buffet. But I just, my eyes were a little clouded because I was just super hungry. Oh, okay. Probably about seashore, seascape, seaside. Chill T says, I was worried too. Brought snacks with me and brought them all back. Okay. Oh yeah. Maybe I can get a couple little snacks. Maybe that's what I'll do. Just throw a couple little snacks, couple little chip situation in my purse. MH Family Adventure says, yes, the cruise lines are definitely listening. So don't skip out on those surveys, y'all. I know it looked like, they aren't doing or making anything happen, but they really listen. And someone was saying, I think I was watching a live. I can't remember whose live it was, but they were saying that someone, a staff member on a ship was at jeopardy for losing their job because they never were cited in people's surveys. So just, be mindful of the little people, the people who might be sweeping the deck. Just look at their name tag. I just actually, whenever I'm around or somebody just helps me out of nowhere, and I'm a big stickler for, I like to think about the people who nobody would think about, like the person who's wiping the banisters. I'll try to look at their name, and then I write their name in the notes app. And then whenever I do my survey, I have this list of just names I want to give kudos to. Because there are people who everybody thinks about their cabin steward. Everybody thinks about their server at dinner. But people don't think about, maybe that one bartender. But there are a lot of people that keep, things organized on cruise ships that don't get any sort of recognition. And because where they are in the cruise line totem pole, they may never get recognition. So just, try to find a couple people who, who's sweeping, who's wiping, who's a person with the throw up bucket, because that's a whole thing. I remember one cruise, this one lady, she just had that bucket and she was going back and forth and she was doing a good job of cleaning it up. Those people might not get recognized. So if you can in your survey, make sure you do that. All right, back in the comments. My cruising family says, I agree with Shantia on that about the food on Celebrity Edge. Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, I ate celebrity food, and then like maybe like the third day, I was kind of like, But I felt like the food was really good in a sense. But then I can't tell because I was just jaded by hunger. I don't know. But yeah, Shantia wasn't impressed. There was a couple people who weren't. I think Joseph Sykes wasn't super impressed about this food on Celebrity Edge either. So it wasn't. Now I agree, it was not bad food. But I don't know. I'll take it. Let's just say I'll take it over most cruise lines any day. Regina Davis says, interesting. I thought the food on Celebrity Edge was pretty consistently good everywhere I ate. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like, it was like 2 days I was just kind of like, I'm tired of eating beef. I think that's what I hit on. I'm like, I would love another fish option. But I don't know. I do think, and was it me, Regina, or was it Sense Buffet bigger? Or am I making that up? Let me know in the chat. My cruising family says, I had just heard great things, so I thought celebrity food would blow us away. I think, yeah, maybe it was some of the hype. But I'm trying to think. I probably gained weight on that scent. Now, or on Edge, but it also could have been me sampling all the wine. My cruising family says, yes, Margaret, first night we did buffet, but the main dining room nights were better. Yeah, now I will say on Edge, I did not do a whole lot of main dining room. I ate the buffet most days. Oh, my cruising family says raw and 5 is disappointing. Now, I've never ate at raw and 5 yet. And I heard they got a couple little spots that like are little dishes to try. My cruising family says, but all in all, it was okay, not complaining, not hyping it either. Okay, temper your expectations is what I'm hearing. Nadine says, yep, Carlene, I do the same as I get to the cruise port, take names and positions and how they helped and put their names on the survey. So yes, think about the people who might not get a shout out. Help them out. You never know. It can be the difference in someone's mental health. It can make a difference in someone's career. It can make a difference on somebody's family who's waiting for, just little funds to get back home. So, and then Regina says, oh, Margaret Logan says she really enjoyed the hamburger spot. Oh, yeah, up on the thing. It was a lifesaver on a couple of days when I was hungry before the buffet was open. And Regina says, a Sense buffet did seem bigger, but not sure if it is. Yeah, I wasn't sure either because that was my first time on an Edge class ship. So thank you all, 40 people, for tuning in. My name is Carlene C with C, and our trip announcement is later this week. I will be on MS Seashore. So what that means is there will probably be a live stream at some point. So I would say hit some notification bells. Probably one of the evenings. I'm not gonna say when it is. I have to do a little creative scheduling. But hit the notification bells, tune in the evenings later this week. We'll probably go live from the ship. Hopefully I can catch a sail away, Reverend Dr. E or something before my phone conks out from the internet. What else we got? Our next Monday meetup, I don't think I want to sneak another trip in. I'm not sure though. But my next trip announcement will be October 21st, and that's going to be the big one. I'm going to plan on getting it to my channel members first, so they'll be the first to hear exactly where I'm going, what am I doing. And announcements. If you haven't already done so, I am hosting a group cruise August 29th to September 3rd on Virgin Voyages Valiant Ladies. So if you like the energy, want to try out Virgin, with people who've done Virgin before, hit me up, seewithc@gmail.com. Or if you just want me to plan some stuff, shout out to you all who have been reaching out, particularly the birthday girlies who are reaching out for me to plan some of your cruises and your trips. I greatly appreciate it. Or you've been sending your family members my way. Greatly appreciate it. I'm happy to give you, I don't have any extra planning fees. And I do land and sea stuff, vacation. So reach out. All right. I like to end on a positive note. So let's see. We got a couple people snuck into the chat last minute. Welcome, Damien Kwanda. Kwanda has a really fun, or Damien Kwanda Experience have a cool video where if you want to see, get a good laugh, the first 5 minutes of their last video of us surviving an excursion. Talk about excursions gone wild. Y'all heard me talk about my Belize excursion, but that Puerto Plata excursion probably topped Belize a little bit. They're saying they're late. Hey, Keisha girl, welcome in. Oh, we got a question. Nicole Charnel says, random question. And you may have already said this, but what type of card do you use for points? Ooh, okay. Actually, I got a new card. The card I use for points is I have a Chase Sapphire Preferred. I used to have the reserve when I first started doing points, and that what was it? The annual fee was a little too high for me, so I scaled back to the Chase Sapphire Preferred. I also have an American X Platinum, but I don't use that one. Put it this way, but I use that one for perks, but I don't use it for spending. That's when I'll have to tell my channel members what the hook is for my Amex Platinum. I don't want no one else to get hold of that. What else? And not just for my business, because I had a Amex. What is this thing called? Blue, which was cash back. But I recently got a Visa Chase Sapphire Ink Preferred, which just 3 points. So what my strategy is pretty much I use my card all the time for my preferred, and then I say, oh shoot, I got a couple more, and then I have a Delta American Express card because I want my bags. So I pay the $99 a year because if I travel on Delta a lot, then that covers suitcases for the year, and I also have a what's the thing called? American Airlines MasterCard. But I would say if you are interested in like getting into the points game, and I started learning a lot about the points game, I say you should have in your wallet at least a good Visa card, because Amex, while Amex has really sexy perks, Amex is not, particularly if you decide you want to like get into like world travel. I've been in situations where like you're somewhere in a different country and they're like, we don't take American Express. So I would say definitely lean towards a good Visa card. American Express, you're going to have that high spending limit before you can hit all your perks. So like you got to have like $75,000 before you can get like all the accesses. But I have a tip for that one. I'm happy to share with you in person. What else? I think those are all my cards. Yeah, it's a lot of them. But I do the Chase Sapphire Preferred for my day-to-day. I like to book directly through the cruise line, so that's the only downside. So like with the Chase, it looks like when you buy online, like on chase.com, like their travel section, like if you buy a ticket from them, it looks like it goes straight to the airlines. But my worry is if I buy a ticket somewhere and like, let's say, something like the glitch with Seattle happens, I like to be able to talk to the airline directly. I don't want to like have a glitch situation and it's like you got to call your third party travel company to like get a hold of it. So Chase looks though like I haven't, thankfully, knock on something, I have not encountered any travel situations whenever I booked a flight with my Chase card. But I try to stick to like using my American Airlines MasterCard for when I'm booking American Airlines directly, so I get the points. And then I know whenever I use like the miles for that, I don't have to worry about like them saying, oh, we can't help you. You got to go to, like you have to call a third party. I know if I book it on that card, I can just go straight to the American Airlines desk. Same thing with my Delta card. Like I know if I book a flight on miles, I can go straight to the Delta desk. So yeah, who was it? Anna Q was talking about, she wants to do a tutorial because I need to figure out the Qatar Airlines hack. I have a flight with them and I want to use miles if possible to like upgrade my seat because it's only a long flight. So if I can figure out that, I will. But I will say, I know I'm like you asked a basic question. I'm going very extensively. I will say if you're dabbling into the points game, go low. So do something that's either no fees or no annual fee or a low annual fee, like $99, $150. Now, granted, they're not going to match the points a whole lot. They might give you 2-3 points, whereas your card that you're spending like $695 a year on, they might be giving you 4 points. However, it's like, where's the balance there? So I would say start low, and then depending on how much you use it, how much you're able to manage your debt, that kind of thing, like, pick it that way. And I'm not gonna let it go. I'm gonna let it go though. Figure out which perks are meaningful to you. So the reason why I backed out of having the Chase Sapphire Reserve was I was tired of having the priority pass. Like that was the only thing that came with that one, and I wanted a better airline. What is it? Air lounge experience. So I figured out the Amex situation, and now I at least get Delta. What is it called? Delta lounge access. If I'm flying Delta, you can't do basic economy. And then American Amex Lounge, if they have an Amex Lounge, and then you have priority pass included. So yeah, maybe I'll drop it for my members, some of the little tips, but I want somebody else to do points for me too, because I need to learn that whole how you transfer. I have not did that yet. Transfer to different airlines. And I know Anna Q was able to do that. Who else we got? The boat driver trying to take y'all out in Dominican Republic. Yes, go to Quanda for sure and see that. Or not Quanda, DNQ Experience, and check out DNQ Experience to see that for sure. My cruising family says she has team Chase Sapphire Preferred and Amex Platinum. Ooh, okay. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah, I definitely say the Preferred is a cool one. I think Chase does you pretty much right. It's particularly if you want to dip your foot in the pool, and then Chase is a Visa. So most places that you go, we're going to take that card for sure. And then the Amex Platinum has all those lounge accesses. It has the partnership with Delta. You're going to get a high, high points, but you also have to be able to crank out that $695 a year. But some of the credits that come with it, some people say could, offset it a little bit. But I got to teach y'all I have a workaround for my Amex Platinum. My cruising family says those are my only 2-point cards. See, yeah. I try to save my what is it called? I try to save my my airline cards. So my Delta, Amex, and my American Airlines, I try to save that just for booking flights and not using it for anything else. And I just want that because I don't want to pay for luggage. Nicole Charnel says, thank you, everyone in the chat. Yeah, thank you for that question. We love points. It's like, look, if you want to spend the money, you might as well get some points for it. And then it translates to travel. And I just basically try to stack up the points and use them for one big trip. So my October situation, I requires a pretty significant international flight. So I use that for the points from that to bring down that bill. Cruising Caper says, I love my Chase card and my Amex is for special occasions. Yes. Totally understand that. And Regina says Sapphire Reserve also has the annual travel credit, right? Is like what, $250, $300 for the annual travel credit? So it looks like it offsets a little bit, but you're going to still get hit with that. Is it $6 something now? But Amex Platinum, Sapphire Reserve at least comes with a bunch of credits that you can possibly use throughout the year. But I was in a points group and somebody was like, they forgot when they're make note of your anniversary for your credit cards. So that way you make sure you hit all of your what is it called? Your perks. But for me, I wanted lounge access because I don't like sitting in the terminal. And if you go far enough around the world, you will encounter not all terminals are built like US terminals, and you want to be somewhere that you can be comfortable. So yes, good point, Regina. Sapphire Reserve has a few credits that if you hit it annually, you'll get those perks. Regina says we need a strategy session. Yes, we all should, because we should get Unc Points Blank Travel in there and talk about all the systems for what is it, for points. But I just joined on Facebook. What's it called? The 10X Platinum group or something like that. There's a group on Facebook that does a lot of point strategies, but I have to sit down and do like the training. That's what it is. Monet from the Traveling Child recommended the 10X Facebook group to me to really learn points game, including transfers. It's really helpful. Yes. Thank you. My cruising family gave me that recommendation. So I joined the 10X Facebook group. They talk all about points, but I have to sit down and do the trainings first. So maybe like towards the end of the year, I get some time, I can do some of those trainings. I definitely need to do it before December because I want to learn how to transfer to Qatar or Qatar Airways. Regina says, don't forget about hotel points and point transfer as well. Yeah. And see, that one I'm not as good. Well, I don't have a hotel-based card, and I don't think I'm going to get a hotel-based card, but I believe there are certain cards that, yes, you can make the transfer to hotels, etc. Or what is it, using... I'm not as good with the hotel game as I am with the flights game. So I'm open to sitting down and listening to the hotel point girlies talk because I'm more about the airline perks. Yes, we gotta pull in Anna Q because she knows some things. Keisha says, teach me the workaround. We're gonna figure out some little way we can do a link up for points. Yep, MX Platinum takes care of that. 10X Travelers, 10X Travel Insiders is the Facebook group. And Regina says, I have some friends with Capital One Venture X, and they are building. Oh, I saw that one. But it reminds me of Chase's portal because I don't like I do it, but I don't like booking through the third party to get your points. Or you have to, you get the most points if you book through their third party portal. My worry, and maybe y'all can tell me how it goes, is like if something goes wrong with my reservation, instead of me going to the vendor, I got to call the third party website. And so I haven't dug deep. I think I prefer anywho, this will be a long conversation. Our Christian family says it has a deep training first, mad long. Oh, and we're going to end on a positive note. Nicole Turner says, yes, we got to do a point strategy session. Let's do it. Well, thank y'all. It's over. It's almost an hour and a half. Thanks for tuning in. Again, I'll be on MSC show later this week, so make sure y'all hit those notification bells. We'll probably go live. And then channel members, stay tuned. I got to get a special announcement out to you all. You all have a good night. It's C with C. Thanks for chatting with me. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank y'all. Great chat this evening.